approach the mana break. An early pickup here on the mana break for FPOV is going to give them a slight edge in terms of getting to one of those decoding stations and potentially securing this early.
Yeah, they've grabbed this straight off the bat as soon as it appeared, and there is a decoding station right here in the central building as well, in the museum, so we'll expect to see them place it on that pretty shortly. Premium coffee picked up by Chiba, and yeah, there is the decode. And when we were in one of our games, that game 2 last week, we saw this decode actually go all the way, kind of uncontested. Everyone was piling in, but no one wanted to be the first team in, and they actually got a clear run on it. So FPOV, floor POV, I think are going to be hoping that's the case so they can get Mana Brick number 1. Still got a team down in tower. This is we've got AGT down in the tower looting away, but most of our other teams closing on this Mana Brick now. We've got 4 very close in this building. FPOV taking up positions on the balcony here, all of them just outside. And then we've got yellows, we've got LDS just downstairs at the moment, also pretty close by. And then we see VT just sneaking in from the side.
And we could see, taking a look at this little camera that we have right here, if you were to throw an Allure Molly anywhere that was on that screen, it would find insane value in some of those choke points, which is why we do see a lot of those Allures, come into play. I didn't actually realize, Ben, VT, they brought in their Oko is going to be looking for one of these early picks right now. He's going to be looking towards the site of Blake. He knows that this team is going to be wanting to play on the balcony. Oh, it was so close right there. Blake almost showed the shoulder. And Oko is just going to be invested in holding this angle, but the util comes out and pushes him back.
Love to see that he had the AWM there with like a 2x or something. It's got a tiny little scope on it. He knows it's going to be used inside. Maybe he's got an alternative one to switch, but yeah, good spot there. The A-dub is in the building, very literally. And they're trying to push forward on this, and I think you're going to see, teams kind of pensively creeping up here, trying to wait for someone else to commit first before they run in, but someone's going to have to do it. And VT actually getting surprisingly aggressive here. It's nice to see a team not leaving it to the last 5 seconds before they run in on this brick.
And this is where it gets tricky, because any single time that VT goes ahead and throws any piece of utility, like a smoke or something, to go ahead and flush FPOV out of this balcony, then they just go ahead and return. Like a Molly comes in here for the team Genius. The shots are going to come in, but simultaneously, Oko finds a shot onto Blake with the and a return kill comes in. Oko's actually going to be going down, and now Hannah, Genius, they're trying to get involved. Currently, as it stands, 2 members down for VT, 1 member currently down for FPOV.
Yeah, a lot of kills popping off very quickly here in a fight on the stairs. This is number 1 pushing up from downstairs on VT, who are down to just 1 player up. And that is going to be tough with that Ulu rocket coming in as well. It's going to drop 3 more little ones. And that is going to put Selen right on the back foot. It doesn't look like they're pushing up the stairs just yet. Well, maybe the spider is, but players not coming in. And we're seeing more and more players dropping here. FPOV have got that res. Selen is down to very low HP here. Last member of the squad. FPOV got away with that, back up to 3, and they still have the Mana Brick. VT didn't get a steal there, and a minute left on that decode.
Yeah, Selen's going to be flushed out of the angle right there. That's going to be VT wiped off the map. They came in with the they're going to be knocked out. But take a look at the top of your screen. 57 seconds remaining. While all of this fighting is going on, FPOV, they just got a giant smile on their face, because they know they are 50 seconds away from taking home the first Mana Break. And what an opportunity that would be. Sniper opportunities here for Mateus on the side of NBO. But the snipes aren't going to do it. You're going to have to flush them out of the balcony and go ahead and get access to that decoding station in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, Gen moving in, Genius moving in. They're going to drop their util, but again, we're going to see all the same util get thrown onto that Mana Brick, try and block it. Need a team to go in and contest this, and VT getting third-partied when they tried to take the Mana Brick really just helped out the people who already had it. That helped out Floor POV. Yeah, not long time left here. Floor POV still 3 up. Genius have lost 1. There's a lot of smoke down there. They're going to maybe lose another. They do. It looks like this Mana Brick is just going to go game 1 to Floor POV. I don't think anyone is getting this. That is a Mana Brick for number 1. Wow. For Floor POV, sorry.
Mando Brick decoded. They're going to be feeling good, but this match is not over yet. There's still a lot of opportunity for some of these other teams. It was just a clear case of literally every single team being involved. By the way, that team that you mentioned in Tower, AGT, they're now involved in this as NBO. They try to make the push down the staircase. Empower gets a little bit aggressive, runs up the staircase in to the suspecting Mateus. And now NBO, they're going to want to push down. They do find the initial shots. They're going to be getting the second kill onto this team. And now only one member remaining to do it all. Going to be on the Shepherd, but cannot lock down the defenses in time. NBO, they are going to lose Cook in the process of that. But they're going to be picking up 3 kills of their own.
Yeah, great play from NBO. They're getting some kills on the board, getting some money on the board from those eliminations. All kicking off very rapidly there, but a little bit too late for any of those teams to benefit from the Manda brick. So pretty much maybe not completely free Mandy for floor POV, but it didn't get decoded, didn't get countered at all. But they did take a few fights, but it's just those different angles from teams interrupting the other pushes and just let them get away with it. And now really, teams just playing for trying to get as much util, trying to get as much resources as they can, get much alloy, and that's a big hit there on Gen. And they just got one left here, just got Kilo left.
Did actually get that res off, so Chin's going to be joining in on the fight right now to try to go ahead and fend off AGT, who are feeling pretty good. They're feeling fresh. They have not been attacked at all throughout this game because they're like the 5th, the 6th party to this museum fight. They're the last ones to arrive. So they're going to be a little bit aggressive, looking for some of those angles as some looting does come in over the course of all of this action. And yeah, Chins and Kilo, they're trying to go ahead and fed off. The res fake does come in. The smoke does come in. It's going to give some of the space over to AGT. Chins finds a great knock. Now it's going to be a 2v2. Can he work around the smoke? Can he work around the needs? Utility comes in, but Toast goes ahead, pushes in. Nast and Yako from the side of AGT do find the win in the 2v2, and they're going to be wiping Genius out of the lobby. But can they go ahead and fend off the 2 other remaining teams in the lobby?
Yeah, AGT just using their strength in numbers there to take that. They took one knock early on, but just had enough to take them out of the game. They take Genius out of the game. Still 2 up. This is FPOV. They're now moving around, trying to get involved. As you said, AGT on the back foot a little bit, but they've had a bit of time to heal up. But they're kind of stuck in this room where everyone seems to be getting dropped at the moment, and you've got teams on both sides of you. It's gonna be tough. We've got FPOV sort of downstairs off to one side, and then this is NBO. Again, that Uluru Molly's trying to get him through a tiny little crack at the top there. Angle, I'm not sure I even realized was there. Every day's a school day.
Museum is scary when you know all these little nuances, and Nast is going to be left as a solo, as Obsessed does go ahead and find the knock on to Yako. It's actually a great opportunity to be playing the operator blender right here, right? This could find incredible value, but look how much value the Molly, the Allure Rocket, all of the utility landing on his head, and that's going to be AGT wiped off the map. But now turning focus over to the last remaining 3v3. Oh my gosh, FPOV, they find 2 instant knocks. The Elm's going to be hopping out with that, and Yersey decides, you know what? I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of holding the angle. I'm pushing. The team secures the Mando break. They are the last remaining ones in the lobby.
Well, take a look at the fight happening already on screen. We see one member of LEG already down and gonna get picked up in a yellow timer because there's a third party coming in from DEF. And frankly, if you're a team like DM, you don't really care about getting, I mean, they got the full, they got him on the yellow, but they don't care necessarily about taking the full fight. They're playing for this Mando brick. And so they've shown LEG that they're here, and they're going to be playing for the brick. And it's going to make LEG think twice about engaging in this, especially with DEF this close, and that information is well shared at this point.
Yeah. Well, so now it's just going to be down to how they can look to manage this, and they're just patiently waiting for that decoding to go somewhere, as the pressure is going to be on. DM going to try everything they can to defend it. We've seen the Mando break change hands quite a few times in last week's games, but not so much over on Brakesh. So I'm curious to see whether or not DF is going to look to contest it. So far, it seems like that is exactly what they're looking to do, as the equal is going to be feeling a little bit of that pressure, but DF now just very kind of, decisive with their position. Not going to try and send it all out just yet. Just trying to keep DM kind of on their toes.
Yeah, DEF, LEG, both full gold across the board. Fully kitted out, investing a lot of eco into this round because they want this Mando brick. DM, they get to T1 spawn, they grab the brick, and they immediately plant it here at Museum. This is kind of a classic strategy in broadcast. You don't often see teams grab it and run to a different decoding station. They want to get the brick down early because it at least gives them the advantage of having control of the objective. The question is, how do you set up, and hopefully, how do you take on the onslaught that will be many teams contesting it? I'm just excited to see some early action around this brick. You do not want to go down early. The team that gets the first brick, they don't always win, but it gives them a huge advantage going forward with a lot of burden and responsibility off their shoulders in rounds 4, 5, and even 6.
Yeah, I mean, but also just helps to give you a little bit of that confidence, right? Knowing that you have at least a bit of an opportunity. So I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. But there's still a lot of contention coming through here. So many squads trying to get their hands on that brick. And I think a lot of the pressure is essentially going to be applied once that decoding gets down to super low. Once it starts dipping under a minute, that is where we could be looking at a lot more pushes coming through here. As DM, at least for the time being, are just going to try and kind of keep themselves out of the scopes here.
Yeah, here's DEF. Folks, there's 4 teams in Museum right now, or right on the outskirts of it. You can see them, nearly all of them, on your mini-map. And all of these teams in traditional 3v3s are going to be waiting for some of those utility timers. They're going to be waiting for some of these folks to burn some of their util and then take fights, looking for any semblance of an advantage. But when there's 4 teams around, all hell just breaks loose. It's utter chaos, and whoever moves first usually gets punished. So a big standoff here, but still 70 seconds is going to feel like a lifetime for some of these teams before they have to steal. They do not want to scam early. They don't want to lose a player early. We got to make a play for it. And without anybody investing a Tempest this early into the competition as expected, can't really cheese this steal.
Ooh. I mean, you can't really, but does it mean that they are not going to try and do that? I think they're going to try to do exactly that. As you can see, DF now trying everything possible to get themselves just that extra bit closer. But DM still kind of keeping themselves relevant here. They are going to try and push up quite a few of those mollies now coming out. Really looking to heat things up. But look at Liquid trying to steal a quick, easy trade-off, but instead he's going to get traded.
In the chaos, perfect timing. DEF well read on the map. They were able to notice the utter chaos around them, hear the shots being fired and people falling, and they said this is the perfect time to grab the steal. What was a 4-minute timer down to 20 seconds gets reset to 3.5 minutes. DEF just bought themselves a ton of time, and they have the power of holding the brick currently. They don't have to sit on this metal brick decoding station, while off screen, by the way, Tower of Babel, BTH is pulling the face. That's 1.5 mil. But they just wanted to reset the timer. They don't care about it getting stolen right back from DM. They just want more time to hopefully catch some of these teams unaware and give them at least player advantage in some of these fights.
But something we also see happening is it essentially turns into a war of attrition, right? Because they only come in with so many rounds. So you got to be very careful as to which engagements you choose to take, because that could end up you spending quite a bit of that utility. So I want to see, are they going to look to try and make a few sensible pushes here, as we've got Megs also now going for a quick pickup. It's going to be just carrying around their teammate to bring back the full 3Ps. Meanwhile, Liquid, right, they are just frantically searching for any and every opportunity to get themselves closer to that mantle brick and even the contesting teams.
LEG trying to slow walk around. DEF just clearing out both the choke points that they have based on the position they are in Museum. The problem is still kind of pinched. I still put DEF in the best position just because they have full control of both of these hallways. The problem with it, of course, is that 2 of these teams decide to push at the same time. They're going to be in trouble. So, again, you're seeing a couple of these teams invest. Some of those recon operators, those info operators like Raptor, going back-to-back on Zero Dam and Brackish makes a ton of sense with what you're able to find with this drone. Farmer Lucas going to try to get some intel of where is this team? Oh, they're below us. Okay, so we at least have mapped out where Liquids is. They've been able to pick up their res from earlier. Anytime you have the info, gives you a better advantage in taking some of your fights correctly, knowing that you're not going to get third party if you move within a certain window. And they know that Liquids will not engage with them in this fight against DM if they want to take it. The DM still control of the brick.
Yeah, they do have, at least for the time being, and it is going to be DF trying to get closer and closer. I like the upset, just a little bit of pressure being applied. But now essentially it's just riding on Crab to see whether or not Crab can actually get that position secured, as there's still a lot of that recon being played out. Now comes the push. Let's see whether or not DF can get their hands on it and secure it. Nice. They do bag it up, and now the table is turned, right? If DM wants it, they're going to have to go out and get it.
Yeah, unfortunately for Farmer Lucas, they did get the smoke down in time, which was nice, and he was able to stick it and grab the steal. But once DM knew he was there was no way he was getting out of there for free. He didn't have his teammates backing him up, holding that sight line, because the triple blaster came in to zone them off. So Farmer Lucas is down. DEF with a player on yellow timer. Do have control technically of the brick right now in the decode, but DM can go right back into it and steal. Now, in the meantime, off screen, we're seeing Meg back on their feet, connecting with the bow and finding a knock. The only team not in this party, not in the area that we just saw at least send one out via extraction in the Tower of Babel is BTH. The other two likely staying on the map and may come join this party very, very late, maybe cause a bit of a ruckus.
Yeah, I mean, but for BTH, it's pretty great, right? Already they have that 4 million worth of assets that they've already been able to bag up so far, and they're going to look to try and capitalize as much as they can, right? Trying to push up that eco as high as it possibly can find itself. And oh, beautiful hit with the crossbow. I just love these plays.
Yeah, that compound bow is very strong if you can hit your shots, and if there's anybody can hit their shots, it's Meg. A great connection there, and picks up the Rolex as well. Well earned, certainly, to find that connection, and that's some extra technicality, but we've got a big fight still on our hands around this brick. A lot of util still landing in the area. A lot of these recon drones still being sent out to try to get info for the next upcoming push, and unfortunately, over peaks and overstays their welcome in that sight line. DM picks up one member of LEG, which is going to force them away from this brick. They're going to be forced to retreat, which is going to give a window potentially for DEF to make a move here. It's going to be DEF versus DM, and they've been able to pick up Farmer Lucas, so it's a true 3v3. Here's a ton more util, some more smokes. DEF still can't make a play over to the mana brick, and now with some of their util on timers, I don't know how they're going to make this push without just full sending and swinging and hoping and praying that they win the bang out.
I mean, that might essentially be their only hope here if they try to kind of regain a little bit of that control, but the timer is going to be ticking. It is almost there. The decoding is nearly done. 20 seconds on the clock. DF is going to be pushing up, and now this is DM's opportunity to try and regain a little bit of that territory, but Liquid also getting closer.
Yeah, there's a lot of action going down right now, but the big thing from that engagement is, of course, the steal from DEF, but also the fact that it was Farmer Lucas again that goes down. He's already been to yellow. He's out of here. DEF are a two-man against a full team of 3, and more. Everybody is here in the party. BTH even joining with their duo. It is utter chaos around this brick here in round number 2. It feels like we just got started. There's only 7.5 minutes on the clock, and DM back in control of the decoding station. The minimum is now 1 minute and 30 seconds. It will not go lower than that every single time it gets stolen.
Yeah, but this is a serious case of hot potato coming through here, as it is going to be opening up the opportunity for even more training coming through. The match, of course, slowly just ticking away. We've got 7 minutes on the clock. So if any of our remaining squads still want to try and contest for that mantle brick, they have limited time to do so. It's just hitting under that minute on the decode. Is anybody going to try and step up? Good trade up coming through from Equal here. Is going to find one, but can he find the follow-up and close this now for Liquid?
Oh, what? Oh, unfortunate misstep there from Liquids. Meg goes down. It felt like either the comms were bad or just a complete mistake there from Jada Bias on where the angle was. But we can't talk about it anymore because LEG is now on the prowl. They've picked up one member of NT down below. So NT down to 1. Liquids down to 1. NT with the duo technically 1 down. But DM still on brick and 26 seconds remaining. I don't know if DEF are going to be the ones to play spoiler here. It's going to have to be somebody else. Where does the burden lie? Is it going to be on NT? Is it going to be DEF? Or a DM just going to grab it? Equal plays might just stick this.
Oh. Oh, and that is exactly what happens. It is now once again in the hands of DEF as Equal stepped up and just claimed it in the nick of time. But as we see, right, things are looking to get pretty tough now for a majority of the squads. The utilities, the weapons, the ammo, everything is going to start running low. Not quite sure if it is going to be able to be changing hands yet again. Now, ooh, look at that though. Mr. Pooty is going to be put right on down as Liquid is out of this game.
Yeah, unfortunately for Liquids, Mr. Pretty had to be the hero again. This time, just full sent, because what else are you going to do at this point? 48 seconds, only one team fully eliminated. BTH, one player out of the lobby with most of their assets from the Tower of Babel spawn they picked up. The other player just trying to play spoiler or maybe try to steal the last moment. With all the chaos that's happening, you never know what could happen. Equal plays having a game right now. And DEF still with control, but DM with some util invested are going to try to make a move here to go for the steal. And in transition, it's actually NT and LEG surrounding them. NT down below, LEG up above, meeting them. Smokes down to the point, equal plays, just gonna barrel stuff and wins the engagement. One goes down for DM. They're gonna clean that up as well. DEF should get this brick. LEG, the only ones that could go for the steal here, and it's utter chaos, but equal plays is cleaning the lobby up with 3 seconds on the clock. EXX does get the steal, and DEF are down to a solo. Too many teams for equal plays to handle. We still got a game.
Yep. We still have a lot of game left here. I mean, you can see the teams, of course, so hyper-focused on getting their hands on their mantle brick that they're kind of forgetting about the the extraction point. But it's not going to matter at all here. As you can see, DEF also getting cleaned up. Out they go. Now it is down to the remaining 4 to contest for that mantle brick. Legit, though, they have it under control. And all they got to do now is just defend it for the next few seconds.
LEG, legit Brazil, with a chance to grab this brick. Being late to the party sometimes pays, and now with another full team wipe on DM, the team that started all of this chaos, we now have BTH still with 2 on the map, LEG with 2, and NT have gotten their res and now have all 3 alive. Again, a minute and a half is the minimum that this decode can go to. So BTH gonna stick this, gonna grab the steal. It's gonna go to a minute and a half, and we still have time. But our game clock is coming in very soon to be a huge problem for these teams. And unfortunately for BTH, they may have grabbed the steal, but they lose one in the engagement.
Yeah, that is gonna make things quite challenging now for them. It's all gonna be up to their final player to see if he can maybe just contest as he pushes forward. Liquid, or Legit rather, down to that solo now. It is going to be quite a difficult play here for Marino to hold strong, but he is going to try and make a play as Tooth comes through. Is going to be sending everything he can, but unfortunately, they're not going to be able to play too much of an upset. BTH, out they go, but at least, though, walking away with 3 million in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a great play from BTH. They pick up all the loot they can in Tower Battle. They get one out. It's a very classic strategy. The other two just come to play spoiler and get chaotic, and they almost walked out with the brick. All of a sudden, we find NT, a full team of 3, and LEG down to a solo. Our timer is fully paused because BTH had control. This is a free brick for NT if they don't scam here, which they certainly wouldn't in a 3v1. Unbelievable turn of events as all of our teams ended up addressing this brick. Oftentimes, the Americas regions can be criticized sometimes for the slow pace of play, but not when it comes to mantle brick rounds. Apparently, at least today, when it's your last chance to make it in, mantle bricks are everything. You gotta win this competition to make it to the Pro League.
Yep, you definitely got to bring everything you can. So far, there's been so much brought to the battlefield here. I mean, essentially, it does look like NT is going to have this one in the back. Timer is going to be quite favorable for them here, as well as we can see the match slowly just ticking away. The armor still looking pretty decent, so it's not going to be too much of a troubling angle here now for NT to try and push on through, as they are just going to be looting it up as well, you know, on the legit side. But this is all the pressure now riding on Marino's shoulders, right? Can he maybe look to still contest that mantle brick?
So here's the thing about what LEG should try to do here. He's got to go for a steal. He doesn't need to live. Just needs to get the steal. If he gets a steal right here, it will reset that decoding clock to a minute and a half. Look at our game clock. It could just prevent NT from getting the brick. But LEG instead goes for the kills. He's able to get one. Can he get a 2-piece? One isolated. The other, unfortunately, barrel stuffs him, and he goes down. That is not only going to be another kill for NT, but it is also going to be a mantle brick for them as it comes through the decoding station now. What a round for NT, and what a round for our audience. Holy cow, that was nuts.